Diablo 4 Druid Pulverize build. Yes, completely out of meta, but it works till some point. Let me show you how it is if you like playing as a bear. Let's go. We open up with pros and cons. What is the main benefit out of this build? Huge overpowers, huge AoE damage, very satisfying to play with, very fun, extremely tanky, like you literally cannot die. I tested it on tormented bosses against level 199. You cannot die. That's the pros of the build. Main cons of the build: low single target damage until Blizzard decides to buff Pulverize Druid, that is. So consider playing it once you see some patches and once you see some upgrades, but here is the build and how it should look like. Let's start up from the gear. What you see here are not the actual numbers. The actual numbers are quite higher. Now these would be the actual numbers. 100k life, as I said, you cannot die, kept armor, but in return, low damage. Great to clear mobs, not as great on bosses. They're gonna take a bit longer to die, but at least you won't die, yeah. What I finished with this build: Nightmare Dungeons tier 100, I went up to pit 70 plus, and you can easily play tier 6 in Infernal Legion seasonal DLC, seasonal content. Plenty of ways how you can play this build. So what I'm using on a helmet is Undying Aspect. Helmet goes with, of course, life. Everywhere you can get life, that's what you want to do. Armor, nothing else but this one, Insatiable Fury. The bigger the werebear form is, ranks to all werebear skills, the better. You want to search for +5, so Pulverize goes up. As you can see, it's 18 out of 5. For the gloves, we go again with Pulverize gloves. If you can get the roll on Pulverize, these are extremely good. Too bad Pulverize is out of meta, but these gloves are pure perfection. For our resists, we're gonna use Tessets of the Dawning Sky. All max resists are up, kept on 75.1. It can go even further when you upgrade gear to 12 out of 12, of course. And what allows us to do with Tessets of the Dawning Sky is to get skulls inside trinkets. So you keep armor as well, without ever thinking about resists. And for the boots, we're gonna get anything with life, basically with main stats. With weapon, of course, we're taking a hammer because of the overpower. The build scales heavily out of overpower damage. You rely to one-shot something, basically. That's the build. For the rings, we're gonna go with critical strike chance and life wherever we can get it, okay? Or flat up increased damage. And what remains is amulet. I am testing the build out with Banished Lord Talisman. This was the amulet I was using before Banished Lord's Talisman. Okay, this one. Now, I have Tyrael's Might, but I just can't switch for Insatiable Fury, so it makes it useless for this build. But, again, as far as amulets go, wherever you see critical strike chance, life, you can go until you find the unique amulet. And that's basically the only unique that you need, aside from armor, of course. If you cap your resist through ancestral gear, and if you want to cap armor the different way, you can put up different colors, different color gems inside trinkets and switch pants, but I would not recommend. What about the aspects? Aspects, as I said, Undying on a helmet, earth skills deal more damage. On the boots we get daze percentage, 20% damage to dazed enemies. On weapon, of course, it's Pulverize travels forward for 200% additional damage. For the first ring, we're taking core skills, deal more damage, and you pay with your life while hitting to deal 80% more with core, because Pulverize is core. And for the other ring, we go with Pulverize, turn into Earth skills, so it merges with Earth skills here and with Paragon board as well. Now, speaking about Paragon board, let's see the skill tree and the Paragon board. The skill tree, again, you can play in a lot of different ways. If you want to make enemies vulnerable, you can play with Wind Shear, but I do recommend Maul, and we only take Enhanced Maul. Down here, we're taking Wild Impulses, 3 points, 1 Heart of the Wild, and we max out Pulverize, and we get Pulverize with increased overpower. Down here, we're taking Predatory Instincts and Iron Fur for flat damage reduction. Here, we're gonna take the Blood Howl, we're gonna take Enhanced Blood Howl into Innate Blood Howl. Down here, we're taking Poison Creeper into Crit from Poison Creeper. And we're putting 3 points into Clarity as well. Now, if you have problems with resist, you can opt in for Ancestral Fortitude as well. But if you wear the pants that I said, okay, you'll never have problems with resist, yeah. Now, from the Clarity, we're going down to the Red skills, where we're gonna take Trample, and we take Trample generates 40 Spirit, we max out Mending, and we max out Provocation. Here, on the side where the Earth is, Crushing Earth and Stone Guard, 3 points each, 1 point into Neurotoxin. Then we go to Envenom with 3 points, then down here we're taking Petrify, max it out. We're taking Quick Shift, because we're gonna howl as a werewolf and hit as a bear. We get full benefits out of it, yeah. 1 point into all of these for additional Fortify, and down here we're taking Ursine Strength. Because again, Ursine Strength, you get it from armor here, percentage of how strong it actually is. Yeah. As far as Spirit Boons go, we're taking Gift of the Stag, we're taking the Skid Talons, we're taking the Iron Feather, we're taking Energize, and we're taking Obsidian Slam. Now the Paragon board. In the first one, we're gonna put Tectonic Glyph. Then we're gonna go slowly up, and we're gonna put Werebear Glyph into Constricting Tendrils Paragon board. So we're just passing through it, taking yellows, go to the left, and we're gonna take Fang and Claw, as well as Survival Instincts on this board. Then we're gonna go up, and on a Earth and Devastation board, we're taking Dominate Glyph for additional overpower damage, of course. Then we're going to the right, and on the Ancestral Guidance board, we're taking Territorial Glyph for the extra close damage to enemies. And we're slowly going to the last, the 6th Paragon board. That would be the Inner Beast Paragon board, and we're taking Spirit. And that would be that for the Paragon board. What's the most important thing on tempering, masterworking, and so on? The faster you masterwork assets, the tankier you'll get, as well as armor. As far as tempering goes, very simple: crits, overpower, critical strike damage, critical strike chance, and overpower. That's everything you need on tempering, wherever you can get it. Rings, weapon, amulet. If you play with unique amulet, again, you can easily play with something like this. Build is fully capable of doing nearly all content in the game. Now, if you can find Shaco, it's gonna be twice stronger, yeah. This is without Uber Uniques. With Uber Uniques, Ring of the Starless Skies, for example, and Shaco, this build is like 3 times stronger. And you can go to the pit tier 100 plus. But with Ancestral Gear, Ancestral Legendaries, max that you can get in the pit is 70, 80, maybe 90, but that's about it. You can't go further because Pulverize doesn't scale well with single target damage. This is great one for AoE clear. And maybe very good for this seasonal content, the Infernal Hordes, because there's a lot of mobs and Pulverize covers the entire screen when you smack. The main thing about this build is that you cannot die. You're very, very hard to kill. The funny thing is, if you want to sacrifice damage and be that ultimate tank, and if you have Tyrael's Might, you can do this crap and then your resists are overcapped, as you can see here.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.